interesting story too. The online hustle starts to get kind of serious, and people are trying to come up, you know, video parts, stuff online, whatever. Expedition had a contest for a new team rider, submit videos, whatever. And I saw the winner was Manny. I didn't know, never met him, never knew nothing. I just remembered he did a kickflip front 50 on a round rail in SF and then cleared the last like 3 stairs or whatever. It just stayed burned in my mind. And I was like, man, that kid's gnarly. However many years later, I think I went to this Oakley video premiere, and when I walked in, I saw Manny. Manny had some stuff in it, and Manny was in front of me. He kind of froze, and it shocked me how hard he froze. And he said, I didn't know celebrities were gonna be at this thing. And I went, excuse me? And I was just like, yeah, all right. And Manny just kind of like melted. He was like mad embarrassed. And I was like, man, that was awkward. Then the next time I saw him was at this trade show, and I believe we introduced each other after that awkwardness at Oakley. If not, definitely at the next trade show. He was at the Shorty's booth, and he saw me, and he wanted to kind of make up for the first awkward meeting, and he said something else, kind of shoe in mouth. And I was like, yeah, Manny, all right, cool, like, you know, type thing. And that was that. And then I didn't see him again for like a year or two. And then I was skating in downtown. I was filming Lewis and Darren for some famous webisodes or whatever we were doing at the time. I saw Manny skating there, and he took off. Then like a little bit after that, like a week or two after that, we had a rep for Famous in the Northeast. And the rep said, hey, do you know this guy, Manny Santiago? I was like, you know what? I do know him. I'm like, it's a long story, kind of awkward, but yeah. He wanted to get some t-shirts. Like, I just saw him a week ago. Why didn't he ask me? He's like, he said he felt weird around you or something. He just wanted to see if I'd ask. So I sent him some t-shirts. One of the t-shirts he got was our Halloween drop a couple weeks early. Before Halloween came around, Manny put up a webisode on YouTube, him in the shirt, doing like 2 or 3 tricks I'd never seen before. I don't know if it was nollie flip, feeble grind down a rail, or big spin, heel flip, board slide, or something sketchy. And I took that webisode to Travis, and I was like, yo, Trav, this is the kid I just sent that box to. I was like, can I bring him out here to Goofy versus Regular? There's a contest next week. If he does any one of these tricks, we're gonna steal the contest. Like, you know, on some like Jerry Maguire type shit. I was trying to bring Manny out, and Trav was like, man, this kid's a monster. Let's bring him out. So I asked Manny, I was like, hey, do you wanna come out? Will you skate Goofy versus Regular? You into it? I'll get you on the course, this and that. And Manny was just like, oh yeah, sprung. Brought him out, geared him up, and then Zoomies stole the best trick, and they started their little couch tour thing. So Manny still fooled around that, got busy, did big spin, heel flip, board slide on the couch, in the back of the couch and stuff, but I was hoping he was gonna drop the bomb on the rail. So the whole thing ends, and then Manny, as he is the champ, he rolls over and just starts skating that 11 stair at Lake Forest, rail slide, back 50, nollie board, nollie 50. It starts becoming like kind of like a one-man demo. Everybody, it was over. Everyone just stops and starts watching Manny. He nollie flips and kind of throws up. They're like, oh, what's he trying? Nollie flips and puts both trucks in the rail, and it was like a shitstorm. Media, everyone comes around, boom, boom. And then he nollie flipped backside 50-50s, the round rail perfect. It was probably the first one ever done or done that big. He ended up with the only sequence from the event in slap. It was like a Star is Born type. The stands came down, waited for him to walk out, autograph session, like this whole thing. We were just like, what the fuck just happened? And then he's just never slowed down ever since. Yeah, he's a really gnarly individual. So during that time, when Manny stayed on my couch, he was riding for Think. Midway through the Famous video was when I decided I was gonna do ammo. So I let Shut know I was gonna leave because I didn't want to miss an opportunity like the Famous video to get an ammo plug and kind of like a soft announcement of the brand. Shortly after the Famous video, Manny asked me to ride for ammo, and I said no, and he was kind of shocked. I mean, we lived together, we skated together every day, Famous, the whole thing, and I was like, nah, you know, I don't want to mess with Tony. I don't want to get you blackballed from Thrasher. Like, you know, things got a program. They're doing something. This ammo is just my little art project. It's not like a thing, you know? There's no backing. There's no nothing. It was my art expression. Manny took it on the chin. Pause. And then 6 months later or something like that, we were at the Do Tour or somewhere. The lights were off at the hotel room. Again, pause. And Manny goes, you awake? I'm like, yeah. And then he was like, I want to ride for ammo. And I went, dude, we went through this already, you know, whatever. And he goes, listen, man, I wouldn't be anywhere in skateboarding if it wasn't for you. I have never heard something that humble or whatever in my life. He's like, we're going to do this together. We're going to make it happen. And I was like, dog, you just put me against the wall. Like, I can't say no anymore. I'm like, that's a whole next level of like, you know what I'm saying? Friendship, like payback. Like, I was blown away. So from that day forward, it had to kind of become a company for real. Because now I have kind of like his future in my hands, through ammo at least. And ever since then, we've been grinding together, and I've been doing everything I can to kind of help him get to that next level, you know, out of payback to him, helping ammo get to that next level. So it's just been like a homie project ever since. But it was a shocker. I said no at first. Imagine that, saying no. Hey, Manny, nah, you can't be on the team. But best decision I ever made, and probably the most flattering experience of my life. When Planet Earth stopped making boards, I moved to LA. I was coming up here a bunch, kind of getting involved in the entertainment industry. I had no sponsors at the time. I was doing a bunch of freelance stuff, and I came up with this concept. Like, usually when I come up with a concept for a brand, it's bigger than just a brand. Like, the idea behind rhythm was that rhythm was a part of everyone's life, and something that has a good rhythm has like a decent flow. It's working and stuff. So when I came up with Ammo, it was kind of the same concept. It was bigger than just the brand. You know, it's like everyone has their ammo. Artist has his paint. You know, musician has his instruments. Skater his skateboard. So I came up with this concept, and I was kind of shopping it around. And wasn't exactly sure if it was gonna be a board brand or clothing brand or what I was gonna do with it. I got this vinyl plotter. I started plotting t-shirts and making stickers and homemade boards and all this stuff. Then at the time, before I was able to connect with somebody, because at first I kind of thought about I had to do it with someone. I didn't think about doing it by myself. I couldn't find the right deal. So I put it on a shelf for a couple years until most recently when I read this Nick Diamond interview where Nick was talking about being a hard goods company and that skateboarding is gonna go through all its stages. But no matter what, being a skateboarder, we're always gonna be here. And it didn't matter how big Diamond was, he was always gonna be there as a brand and as a skateboarding brand. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start Ammo as my art project. I'm gonna have a way to express myself, whether it be a t-shirt, board, whatever I wanna do, a blog, store, whatever Ammo would manifest itself into being organically. 3 years ago, that's what I started doing. I started a blog, I made a couple boards. That was the home of my pro model skateboard, and I just started creating. And 3 years later, we got 5 people on the team: Manny, Javi, Diego, Johnny. We're touring, we're in Mexico, we're going to Ecuador next month. We're doing it. Like, as good as a small little brand can independently, we're doing it. And thank you to the 20-something stores that have our stuff, and thank you to the 4 or 5 countries that have put in orders, and just independent. Skater owned, skater operated, skater hustled. You know, it's a blessing. I wanna thank Chapman Skateboards. They build our boards. That's Ammo, pretty much. That's what it was before, and that's what it is now. No, I'm not fucking okay. I just totaled Mark Gonzalez's fucking car. And then that was that.